here. Open all the way. The other one. Now, put that one in the center. There you go. Put the other one all the way to the side. There you go. There you go. Open all the way. The other one. Okay, let's do. I guess we okay. Put the other one all the way to the side. There you go. There you go. Open all the way. Okay, let's do. I guess we okay. Put the other one all the way to the side. Okay, hello family. Karen Rogers, Living Quadash, official business. What's going on? What's going on? About to log on. Okay. I just want to let y'all know the job that I had took yesterday. Hey, Kimberly Lilly. The job that I went to go take yesterday, it didn't work out. It really didn't. The guy who hired me, hey, Merlene Melendez, shalom, shalom to you and your family. Sean 24 Price, what's going on? Shalom, shalom. But the job didn't work out. The guy who hired me lied to me. He told me that the job was going to be in one city. It was in a whole different city, y'all. And the city that it was in is 2 hours away from where I live. I went out there yesterday and I worked, but I was kind of upset going out there. And he was trying to be slick. He gave me the address to the place. He gave me the address to the place, but that's all he gave me was the address. Like 344 North, whatever, you know. Hey, Ebriana, Ebony, how you doing? So, and even though the job was good money, it was a discount. Okay. It was a discount, but I wasn't even tripping about that. I wasn't even tripping out. Hey, what's going on, Pop Love? Who's Pop Love? Oh, that's my tea. That's my daughter. Okay. But anyway, so the guy gave me the directions to get out there. So I'm thinking it's going to take me about, you know, an hour to get out there. 2 hours. And it's no easy way to get to this place. And I had to take how many toll roads? I had to take 2 toll roads. So I spent about $10 trying to get to this job. And that's not including gas. So you're talking about 2 hours one way and 2 hours back, 4 hours on the road. And then I got out there, and I'm going to tell you something. I know I'm out of shape. I get that. But my ankle was bothering me really bad. And I was fighting. So I was going to go today. But it started thundering and lightning and storming last night. And last night I just said, you know what? And I started limping. I said, you know what? This ain't gonna work out. 2 hour ride, 2 hours? No. That's too much. No, it's too much gas. is too far. And then the guy lied. So the night before, I'm like, why is this, bro? And so I already knew something was funny style, because he gave me the address but didn't give me the city that it was in. And I texted him and said, give me the whole address. I mean, you know, I know this guy's more professional than this. Give me the whole address. I mean, come on. You know, where's this at? In China? Is it in Africa? What? I mean, you just give me an address. What city is it in? What zip code is it in? So I could put it in my Google Maps and hit start and get turn-by-turn navigation. Well, the reason why he didn't give me the city it was in, because he was a liar. That's the reason why he didn't give me the city that he was in. See, people try to impose on you, you know, force you, coerce you into doing stuff. They try to coerce you, trick you. People not honest. You're straight up with them. You know, you give them a good price. And as a matter of fact, this guy, I used to, 20 years ago, I was training this guy. He has his own company now. But 20 years ago, I was training him and teaching him stuff. So he already knows what kind of knowledge that I come with. He already know. Because 20 years ago, I was training him, a Hispanic, a Mexican brother. He's a cool guy, but he's a liar. So now I got that in my mind. Okay, this guy's a liar. He'll do anything to make $1. He'll even inconvenience people so he can get above. So, you know, so I was like, so when I pulled up to the job site, I was like, hey man, this is not no Naperville. To which he responds, oh, well, this is where we work at. I'm like, yeah, but you said Naperville, man. You didn't say St. Charles, Elgin, Schaumburg. I live in Kankakee. See, this is the kind of stuff. See, this is the kind of stuff. I know the Bible says vengeance is mine. But see, this is the kind of stuff that'll get you in trouble. And I could easily get this guy in trouble. See, just be honest, y'all. Be fair. Don't cajole people and arm twist and trick and lie. Just be straight up with them. Just be straight up. I can mess his whole job up with a phone call. I can mess his whole job up with one phone call. He's not union. And then I travel way out there and it gets rained out. Now, of course, he can't control the rain. I get that. But you could control lying to me about where the job is. You could control lying to me about where the job is. You could control that. And this is where it comes down to character. This is what I don't even want to work for nobody like that. I don't even want to work for nobody like that. I know everybody is not an Israelite. I know everybody's not holy, but I also know that everybody is not a liar either. I know that too, whether you're a heathen or not. We read that yesterday in Acts 2, 14, 15. Yesterday we were talking about the conscience. Just because you're a heathen don't mean you don't have a conscience. So I was pretty, you could tell I'm pretty upset about this. I'm pretty upset about this. Yeah, yeah. Don't play games with me. Don't play games with me. Don't play games with my family. Don't play with my money. Don't play with my time. Don't play with my life. Now, he really did something stupid. He really did something stupid. Now, he only owed me for a few hours. He only owed me for about 3 hours worth of work because it rained. It just got crazy out there. It rained like crazy. It stopped. Then we plugged everything back up, set back up. And then it rained again. And then we sat in our car for another hour. And then he wrapped up and said, okay, well, we just gonna go home. And I mean, he can't control the weather. Hello, because somebody's missing the point. We know he can't control the weather, but you can control lying about where the daggone job is. Don't play with me, man. Don't play with me. Now, all I have to do is pick up the phone and call the village of St. Charles and say, and call the rat control. What's they call that? Patrol or rat something? Rat patrol. Rat patrol, and say, hey, it's a guy working out here. They don't have no hard hats on, and they're not union. They are not union. Shut the job down big quick. And it's a big job. It's a big job. It's a big job with a lot of money in it. And most of the guys that's working on the job are all illegal. They're all illegal. Don't see, just be honest and fair with people. You know, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. You'll cause more trouble for yourself and other people than you do for yourself. I don't believe in that kind of stuff. And I'm not going to forgive him either. And I'm going to tell you something. If he lied about that, guess what that also means? He's not going to pay me for the hours that I did work. Hello, come on, stop. Stop. You think he's going to pay me? You think he's going to pay me for the hours that I worked and he lied about where the job is at? See, y'all, this Christianity stuff got to stop. That guy ain't going to pay me. Please. And the little money that he owed me is not even worth the inconvenience. So I'm going to give him to next week. I might not give him to next week. I might not give him to next week to mail me my check. If that check is not here, if the money is not here by Monday or Tuesday, I'm going to call St. Charles. And I'm going to shut that job down. I want to shut it. I want to shut everybody's money down. Everybody, the builder's money, everybody. I'm going to shut that thing down. And I know what Christians are thinking. Vengeance is the Most High's. I know. Just forgive them. Just pray, and love your enemies. Yeah. I know. I know. I don't play that. I do not play that. I do not play that. I'm going to work the job to give you the best service possible. I'm coming with an honest heart, and you're going to lie about where the job is at. But the Christian, love Jesus. Love Jesus. Love. Just love him to death. Love him into submission. Nah. I'm going to freeze up assets or shut down jobs. I want to have fines come his way and everything else. In the bag of curses, I'm going to bring it to his way. Love them with the love of Jesus. You know. Thank you. That's the spirit, Crystal. That's the spirit, Crystal. Make an example. Make an example. I don't give a care if they are Mexicans and the Mexicans are part of Ephraim. I could please, you cross me. You cross me. You could be from the tribe of angels. I will cry out to the Most High. I will scheme in everything else. In righteousness, but boy, I tell you one thing, you will not see me coming. You will not see me coming. I will come get you. I've done it before and I'll do it again. And I don't have no regret. I don't pray for these people or nothing. I don't pray for none of them. I will put a curse on them. I tell you that. You'll be wondering, where did all this come from? Playing with people. Why people just can't be straight up? Why people just can't be straight up with you, man? Oh, yeah, you know, this out you know, he could have told me where the job was at. Games for me. I'm too old for that. Even when I was young, you better not pull no stunt like that. I'm trying to feed a family. I ain't got time to be playing no games. But anyway. Okay, I vented, okay? I vented. Crazy folks. Yeah, that's right, Crystal. Make an example. Make an example out of them. Call ATF, Homeland Security, call the green card people, call everybody. I will call every agency in the United States. The repo man, I call everybody. But, you know, they Mexicans, so I should let him they Mexicans and they're on the 12 tribes chart, so I should let it go. No, I don't work like that. If you ain't on the chart of righteousness, hey, what's up, Keeper? Shalom, shalom, shalom. If you ain't on the 12 tribe of righteousness, I don't care how you look, I will come get you. I tell you one thing. These people playing games, man, with the elect. But anyway, Yeah, but let's talk. I want to do a case study, and I want to show something. And I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's lengthy, but I want to take it segment by segment, because in Israel there's no uniformity of thought, like the Bible says in Acts chapter 4. Let's look at that. Okay, in Acts chapter 4, verse 32, and the multitude of them that believed were of one heart and one soul. Neither said any of them that aught of the things which they possess was of his own, was his own, but they had all things in common. Okay, so we haven't arrived here yet. We haven't arrived yet. Okay, so, and I'm not talking about as Africans and as Pan-Africans. Leave all that, y'all. Stop all that stuff. All that Pan-African and all that African stuff, and that stuff muddies the water, y'all. It's 51 countries in Africa. Okay, there's over 1,500 languages in Africa and dialects. Let's stop all this African stuff. Let's just stop it. That's diluting everything we do down. That's another tactic of white supremacy, to make us believe that we have some type of camaraderie with the Africans because they black like us. Now, let me throw this out to you. If Africans are really down with Israel, guess what? They're going to have a spirit for Jacob. Period. They're going to have a spirit for Jacob. It don't mean that they are Israelites. It just means that they are allies of us. And they are ride or diers. Okay? That's what I mean. And I think this is me. I don't care what all these other people say and all this. You're going to have people, y'all, that's going to be ride or diers, and they not Israelites. Look at Uriah the Hittite. Look at Uriah the Hittite. You can't tell me that he wasn't a ride or dier, but he was a Hittite. He was a Hittite. You even had Edomites in the army of David, and they were ride or diers. While their nations were enemies of David, they as individuals were ride or die. They were spies. They were infiltrators of their own nations. You're going to have those type of people. Now, listen to Hebrew Israelites, you won't believe that, because, you know, we have this obsession with, you know, but if you just read in the Bible, y'all, the Roman centurion was down with Yahushua. The Roman centurion was down with Yahushua. He said, you're not even fit to let your shadow fall on my house, but just say the word. That's a brother. That's somebody who's going to ride or die with you. Okay? That's somebody who's going to be on the inside working for you on the outside. But we so We're so spiritually myopic that we can't even see an ally just because they don't look like us or they not from our nation. You better be able to understand who your ally is. I don't care how he looks. When an ally tries to throw you a bone, when their own nation is coming against you, you want to take that. You want to take that lifeline. You want to take that lifeline. That don't mean you have to fall in love with their nation, but you want to take that lifeline. You want to take that hint. You want to absorb that intelligence that they're giving you. You want that. But we're so polarized in our thinking and myopic in our thinking that we're not able to see when somebody is really throwing us a lifeline. And you know that most of the time, the people that's going to stab you in the back the hardest is going to be people that look like you. They live with you. They raise with you. They even raise kids with you. And they're going to be stabbing you in the back. They're going to be stabbing you in the back. It might be your husband, your wife, your kids, your mama, your granddaddy. But you're going to be blinded to them. Why? Because they look like you. They raised you. Be able to spot an enemy anywhere, especially in your home, especially in your nation. You got to be able to do this, y'all. And the converse is true. You need to be able to spot an ally wherever you find one. Let me tell you something. Just because somebody's name is on a chart don't mean they love you. Let me say that again because that went over somebody's head. Just because somebody's name is on a list or a chart don't mean they love you. I'm going to tell you that. I'm not going to cape for nobody that don't love me. I don't care where their name is written at. I'm not going to be a fool because your name is on a list that only the Most High knows where this list comes from. But I got to love you just because your name is on the list while you're stabbing me in the back. No, no, oh no, oh no, oh hell no. We too simple, y'all. It's the spirit that quickeneth, not a list, not a list of names. It's the spirit that quickeneth and giveth life. It's the spirit, the ruach. That's what quickens people. Exactly. Exactly, Kiefer. Exactly. Exactly. Exactly, Kiefer. The guys who crucified Yahushua, their name was on the list. Their name was on the 12 tribes chart. On the 12 tribes chart, it didn't stop them from hating the Yahushua. It didn't stop them. So I don't want to hear all that. I don't want to hear that. You're going to know a tree by the fruit it bear, not by what lists they on. I don't care about no lists. I'm going to know what's that, Romans 8? His spirit bears witness with our spirits that we the sons of Yahuwah. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm looking at. I'm not really concerned about all this other stuff that people get sidetracked back. So you can stab me in the back because your name is on this list. No, no. You could be COINTELPRO because your name is on this list. And you could be undetected. It's not working. No, no, no. Just because you're black, you can stab me in the back? No, it's not going to work. So if your name is on this list and you stab me in the back, it's going to feel better. Oh boy. No, thank you. You're going to betray us, tell our secrets, all kinds of stuff. Use us as a stepping stone to get next to white mommy and daddy or black mommy and daddy. No, thank you. We're going to pass. But anyway. Oh boy, we be doing some silly stuff. Really, really silly. I mean, the threshold of deceiving us, the bar for the threshold of deceiving us ought to be really high. But instead, we have the threshold where anybody could deceive us. Be black. All they have to do is give us money. All they have to do is give us a job. All they have to do is give us dental. All they have to do is give us a good credit rating. And we will sell out the whole nation. I'm not for all that. I'm not for all that, y'all. I just don't know. We'll sell our whole nation out for Social Security. That shows no character. That's what that shows. That shows a huge breach in character development. But yeah, I want to show you all something. Share something with you all. And I want to tell you, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of things about Umar Johnson that I do like. I'm going to tell you that. But like many of the things and the contraptions that our people come up with, they basically are a recipe for disaster. And I'm going to show this. I'm going to show you. This is why I like doing case studies. This is why I like doing case studies. And I think I'm going to start checking out, doing more case studies with Umar Johnson. Not because I don't like him or nothing like that. It's just because it's a more divergent view from mine. And it's an unbiblical view that seems to be a lure for a lot of black people because it does have some thread of soundness to it. It does. I have to admit. But from the worldview that I have, I could easily sort through these things that he espouses and critique the error of his way. See, Our people are real emotional, and we love that talk. We love that talk, that electric, inspiring talk. You can tell us anything as long as it's energetic and inspiring, and we'll do it. I think that's one of the reasons why Jim Jones had so many followers, and they were Black people. He co-opted our swag, our flavor, and he was able to get a whole lot of our people. Unfortunately. But I like listening to the people with divergent views other than mine, because it has me thinking on my feet, and it has me searching the scriptures, and it has me weighing the world that we do actually live in, still in the situation that we're in. So without further ado, I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to try to do this right so you can, let me see. Let me get my Beats peeled. So the audio quality will be on point. So the audio quality will be on point. And when I replay this, it will not be any technical problems.
And that is one of the biggest reasons why Black religion has not been able to serve. Because our religion, which is so essential to us as a spiritual people, our religion is colorblind. So how can a people suffering from color prejudice be freed from that color prejudice when in fact their most critical institution, the church and the masjid, is colorblind? So it's going to be difficult for many of you to accept rule number one because of your indoctrination. But it is my job to wake you up and bring you into the consciousness of your indoctrination so it can be overthrown. Because only that which is understood can be overthrown. Only that which is understood can be destroyed. Only that which is understood can be ultimately refuted, rejected, and done away with. So the first rule, the first of the 11 essential principles of white supremacy, the first rule of the 11 essential principles.
Okay, now we're not going to go through all 11 principles, but I would like to go through this video over time. And so this will be part one. And I want us to have a dialogue about this. But I have to say this. It's hard for me to take a person serious that talks about, always talking about the black woman, a black man needs a black woman, and then you're single. You're single and you're having sex and you're going from woman to woman to woman to woman. I see that right there lets me know that there's a huge character malfunction. Now I know he's into Pan-Africanism and some of them believe in polygyny, but even if it was polygyny, it would be better off than going from woman to woman to woman to woman, or polygamy. It would be better. But no, he was on the Roland Martin show and he was saying that, and he was giving his criticism about black men with white women. And he said, the first thing you need to do is have a black woman. Well, he don't even have one. I don't even know how he could fix his lips to say that with a clear conscience. You obviously still like women. You're obviously still attracted to black women, but you don't have one that you're dedicated to. You don't have any that you're dedicated to. So I have a problem with that. That's a huge inconsistency. And especially based on scripture. The Bible says it's not good that a man should be alone. What's that? Genesis 1:18. Not good. Not good.
Of global white supremacy is that all white people are racist. All white people are racist. Now, I know I have some Europeans trolling my Instagram and my Facebook, and I don't mind you being here because you need to be educated again. Okay, you as Europeans, as Anglo-Saxons, as Jews, as Irish, as Portuguese, as Spaniards, as Italians, you need to be educated. But I do want my white visitors to understand that I understand that no matter how educated you become about your code of white supremacy, you will never violate that code, nor will you ever operate outside of that code.
Now, what he's saying is pretty deep and true. And when he says he has an understanding of this, that right there is really on point. And he's going to break down. We only going to listen to a few minutes of this, maybe about 20 minutes of this. But this is something that Israelites don't even get. But he's going to go into this, and I agree with this. I agree with this.
Okay, many black people are under the false, erroneous belief that if we educate white people about who we are, racism will cease to exist. Many of us as Africans believe that if we educate white people.
See, all this stuff about educate them that we're Africans. See, that's the okie doke. That's the okie doke. I think that's the okie doke of white supremacy, to make us believe that we are something that we're still not, Africans. And that's why this, even though he's on point about all white people are racist, he's off point with this idea that we're Africans, that all people that look like him and me are Africans.
As to who we really are, racism will cease to exist. Well, I can assure you that that is a fallacy. I can assure you that that is a lie. I can assure you that that is nothing more than an imagination. White people are already educated about who you are.
Right. Now, he says are already educated about who we are. Now, when he says we, he's talking about Africans. No. And now he's right that they do. No. And when I say they, I mean the elite. I don't think the common everyday Caucasian person know who white people are. I know they don't. I don't even think they even know who they are. But the elites who run the world, they do know who we are. But they don't believe that we're Africans like he about to say.
That's why they are racist. You don't need to be racist against the people over whom you exercise superiority. Racism is not necessary when you're dealing with inferior people. Racism is only necessary when you are dealing with equals or people who are superior to you. The fact that we even have racism clear.
Now, that's a really good point that he's making. That's a really good point. That's a really powerful point that he is making. as to why racism is being practiced against Israelites. Now, we know he's not talking about Israelites. He's talking about just Africans and just melanated people. You know, that's what he's talking about. But see, when I hear him talking, I interpret this from an Israelite perspective, not no African perspective. And so that's where the dead end is for his logic.
Really connotates and denotes that African people are not inferior. You do not have to devise a system of authority, control, and domination in order to keep inferior people in check. When people are inferior to you, you don't even have to be conscious of them. Do you understand? So the fact that we have a system of global white supremacy clearly articulates and communicates to you that you are not inferior.
He says you, he's talking about African, but you really means Israelites. Because the Bible says in Deuteronomy 7:6, ye are above all people upon the face of the earth. Know that we are above all people on the face of the earth. That's why they really practice white supremacy against us, and they do it in tandem with Africans. They do it in tandem with Arabs. You see?
To Europeans, facts, facts, facts. Rule number one, the essential rule, the first essential rule, and these are in no particular order, the first essential rule of white supremacy, the code of white supremacy, is that all white people are racist. I must say this again. White people are racist. I must say.
You know, this is a good thing to assume, but I don't think you could just limit this to white people either. You got to also spread this net over all the allies of white people. Allies of white, not just white people. See, he's on that melanated thing. You know, he thinks that's the dividing line. No, the dividing line is Jacob and Esau, and both sides have allies. See, it's all about Jacob and Esau, good and evil, Jacob, Esau. That's what it's really about. You see, he thinks this is only about white people. No, it's not only about white people. It's about black people who are white on the inside, be they Israelites, Africans, East Indians, whatever. Umar ain't gonna get that, you know, because he sold out to Pan-Africanism.
This again, all white people are racist. That means your wife, that means your husband, that means your white sister-in-law, your white father-in-law, your white friends, your white neighbors, your white Muslims, your white Christians, your white capitalists, your white communists, your white Jehovah's Witnesses. All white people are racist. And you have to understand rule.
Now the premise that he's coming with is true. It is true, but it's wider than that. Allies of white people. He don't bring up that. He's not bringing up the allies of white people, no matter how they look. Remember, y'all, they tried to sell Yahushua out to who? White people. So that means that Rome had some people on the inside. Even one of the disciples to betray the black Messiah. So these were black people who were white on the inside. They were Oreos. You got to find these people, you got to kill them. Period. You got to marginalize them. You got to incapacitate them. You got to work spiritual warfare with them more than any other group of people. But I think he does understand that, but because he don't understand we're Israelites, his view is skewed. It totally. He gets some glimpses of it, and that's what makes the rhetoric of Dr. Umar Johnson lethal. To Israelites. I ain't talking about no Africans.
Number one, in order to understand the others, because they are all based upon this rule. All white people are racist. Now, for the benefit of my Africans who are watching this lesson, and to the benefit of the Europeans who are watching as well, allow me to clarify when I say all white people are racist. When I say that all white people are racist, that does not mean all white people hate black people.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I actually believe that. I actually believe what he just said. All white people don't hate black people, but most of them do. So because most of them do, you got to really be on guard. So he has some really cogent thoughts, but it's all made muddy by this African stuff, this Pan-Africanist garbage he spews. You know, he don't want us to be Israelites. He just want us to be another African tribe with a bone in our nose and with a kente cloth around our neck.
I repeat, when I say that all white people are racist, that does not necessarily follow that all white people hate black people. I don't agree with that. I do not think that all white people hate black people. I think that most white people hate black people, but I don't believe that all white people hate black people. Racism has nothing to do with emotion. Racism has nothing to do with emotion. Racism has nothing to do with anger. Racism has nothing to do with hate. Racism has nothing to do with any.
And the thing about the handicap of all this language about racism and not knowing that you're an Israelite, you never factor in the curses. You never factor in that the cause of racism is because of the curses. So you always have to default to as the least common denominator, when really it's the curses. But you can't get him there because he don't believe in the Bible and all this kind of stuff. You know, you can't get him there. You know, everything is just racism. But what's the underlying cause of racism? What gave birth to racism? Us breaking, not having the character of the Most High. Us not obeying the transcript of the Most High's character, which is the commandments, the law of the Most High. If we would have kept the law, there would be no such thing as, according to Deuteronomy 28, that you can't even practice racism on a group of people that's keeping the law and have the character of the Most High. You can't even do it. It renders white supremacy and any other kind of supremacy from any other nation as null and void. But he can't go that far because he's a Pan-Africanist. So everything is going to be reduced to European, melanin, the pineal gland, and all this kind of stuff. Chakras and all this.
Type of an emotion. Racism is non-emotional. Racism is thoroughly political. Racism is thoroughly economic. Racism is thoroughly intellectual. Racism does not deal in emotions. Racism deals in power. Deals in power.
Okay, racism deals in power. I know what he means, but I'm going to tell you what that really means. I want to break it down from an Israelite perspective. When he says racism means power, the only way that the Israelite could look at this, interpret this, is based on scriptures. When we left our power, we forfeited the power that protected us and the hedge that is spoken of in Isaiah chapter 5. Wild grapes. He built a tower on a fruitful hill, where we forfeited our power when we became wild grapes, when our characters became polluted. I'm going back to Isaiah chapter, what's that? Isaiah chapter 5. I'm going back to Matthew chapter 21, 35, something like that. Okay. So yeah, it is about power, but not like the way Umar Johnson is going to break it down. It's about us leaving our power, the Most High. So yeah, racism is a fruit of us leaving our power. And by creating a power vacuum between us and our power, guess where the power went? It went to our enemies. And now they have power over us. They are gods over us, rulers over us, judges over us, priests over us, kings over us. Why? Because we forfeited the character of the Most High. You see? Now, Umar Johnson doesn't know it, but the rhetoric that he's spewing actually plays in the hand of giving power to our enemies, instead of getting us back to the laws, statutes, and commandments. As critical a thinker as he is, he's a critical thinker in the wrong vein. And this is why many of our people are getting snatched up and raptured and enthralled by his eloquence that's on the wrong path, which is a dead end.
Racism deals in power. So when I say all white people are racist, I'm simply saying that all white people are committed unapologetically to the preservation, maintenance, and continuation of the domination that Europeans have over African life.
Exactly. But you also have to include the allies of Europeans. You see? You got to include them. Don't let them off the hook. There are many, many Black people who are Hebrew Israelites that are living their life in dedication to maintaining white supremacy while they are talking about commandments, statutes, and laws. Believe it. They still running after the American dream. You can hear it in the way that they talk and the things that they wish that they could do, the dreams that they have. That means that they're sold out to support white supremacy.
I'm saying that all white people, whether they hate you or not, all white people, whether they hate you or not, are 100% unapologetically committed to the continuation of white rule on the planet Earth. In other words, they are.
You know, there's a group of people in the Bible to white rule on the face of the earth. And you know what they said? We have no king but Caesar. Now, if that's not a group of Black people who are committed to white supremacy, I don't know what is. They said we will not have this man reign over us. We will not have a black Messiah reign over us. We're going to report them, lie on them, create false witnesses, and all that kind of stuff. And I want to tell you something. Dr. Umar Johnson loves money so much that he's a prime candidate to fit that type of profile. He's a prime candidate. Always talking about himself in the third person. I, my, me. He's telling on himself, and his people that follow him, they can't even hear it because they are allured by his persona. If this man was really committed to black women like he talks, why would you go sleep with why would you go get a stripper? And remember now, you're talking about black consciousness. Pick a whore, huh? And answer me that. Why would you pick a whore? A stripper. And then after you get busted, you throw the stripper under the bus. The stripper under the bus. You discard her, but you committed to the black woman. If he was so committed to the black woman, why didn't he pick a woman? I want to watch this, y'all. Why didn't he pick a woman that was single, had children, with no father, and she was a hard-working woman? And he just wifed her up and said, hey, you're going to stay at home and take care of the kids, and I'm going to love you for the rest of my life. Why he didn't do that? No, he went and picked up a whore. You know why he picked up a whore? Because that's what he is. That's what he is. He wants something quick, fast, in a hurry. See, that shows your character. You want something quick, you want something fast, you want something hurry, and you want something where there's no attachment. Don't that sound like the way that the media describes most black men? And here he is, the poster child of the very behavior that he says he's against. Hotel hustlers.
Committed to the authority. They are committed to the power. They are committed to the legitimacy. They are committed to the resource control. They are committed to the religious control. They are committed to the cultural control.
And let me tell you something. Most of the people that listen to him, a live share, most of the people that's listening to him, guess what? They're women. Most of the people that's listening to Umar Johnson, guess what? They are women. The very ones that he don't like, the very ones he want to turn into a one-night stand, those are the type that are attracted to him. My wife wouldn't listen to this guy. My wife wouldn't listen to this guy. My daughters wouldn't listen to this guy. All these broken women are the ones that are following Umar Johnson. Predominantly broken women. And guess who broke them? People like Umar Johnson. But he got a mouthpiece. He got a tight mouthpiece for the simple. Hence, he got a ton of single women who are damaged goods, and they're attracted to his mouthpiece. because he can spit some game. Most of these women that's following Umar Johnson, they've been looking for a strong man their whole life. Their whole life. And the vast majority of them are not married. Hence, that's why so many of his lectures are geared towards these type of women, because those who make up the majority of his followers. And they ripe for the picking for him. He could go from city to city to city and pick up 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these women per night and then move on to the next city. He has no compulsion to even wife up one of these women. He wouldn't even wife none of the women that follow him. And that lets you know that he's damaged goods. Because if he was really repairing our women, he would find at least one of them to marry. At least one to marry. But he's been spitting this game for a long time and he ain't found one yet. Exactly, Crystal. Exactly. This is nothing but Christianity. That's all this is. It's the same thing. Christianity keeps the black woman single, and guess what? Umar Johnson does too. And then he abuses them just like the black preacher. Throws them under the bus at the wink of an eye.
They are committed to the institutional control. So when I say all white people are racist, I am not saying all white people hate black people. I'm saying all white people benefit from a white privilege that none of them want to give away.
Now, that's a good point. No white person wants to give up any white privilege they have. I don't care how poor or how rich they are. No white person wants to give up any white privilege. And I'm going to say the converse. No black person wants white people to lose their power base. Why? Because their power base and benefits are based on white people being in power. Hence, we will not have this man reign over us. Why? Because if Yahweh reigns over us, or his prophets and apostles reign over us, guess what that means? That means white daddy can't reign over you. If you want to see black people really destroy a city, let a black Messiah rise up. Let a black Messiah rise up. There will be hell to pay. Forget about white people. Forget about white people.
All white people benefit from a white privilege.
All white people do benefit from white privilege, but a lot of black people benefit too. Let's give the whole enchilada. Mexicans too. That's why Mexicans hate us, especially when we find out we're Israelites. So you ain't gonna trick me with no chart with somebody's name on it. You start messing with some of them people's names on that 12 tribes chart. You start messing with their benefits and their tax breaks, and you'll see how much you'll see how much of a family member they are. Don't get it twisted.
That none of them want to ever abandon. All white people benefit from a privilege. And you must understand that the privilege that Europeans benefit from, only comes.
Look at this, y'all. Faces. If you just look at all the thumbnails you could see it's mostly black women, and you could just assume that they're single. Just assume that they're single. Just assume it. Just be presumptuous and assume they're single. Most of these women have never, ever been wifed in their life. They probably in the range of I would say around 22, average from the age of 22 all the way to I'll say about 35. 22, 35. Okay. Audience. The most vulnerable among us. The ones that he take the most advantage of.
As a result of the oppression of African people. So you cannot want to protect white privilege and at the same time not want to continue to oppress Africans, because you can only exercise or realize a white privilege.
Well, I'll say it this way. You know, I'm not going to say no Africans. You cannot keep white supremacy up if you're not supporting Israel. And I know a lot of Israelites who brag about the benefits that they get from other nations, and they actually will throw it in your face. They will actually throw it in your face. And they say they're Israelites. They will throw it in your face. Now, some of these people can be reformed. They just need to be talked to and reasoned with, but some of them can't. Most of them can't. Melchizedek, come here. Get that, turn that on. Okay, turn the light off. Get in the chair and turn that light off. Well, yeah, let it go fast. Again. Again. There we go. Thank you. Oh, that's much better. So,
and at the same time not want to continue to oppress Africans, because you can only exercise or realize.
See, that's where the okey, that's where the okey doke lies, y'all. This African stuff, you know, it's African, you know. Now he knows that there's 51 countries in Africa. He knows that. But, you know, he just want to lump us all in African, as Africans.
Privilege, and at the same time not want to continue to oppress Africans, because you can.
Now, I got to say this. I want to interpret what he's saying according to scriptures.
From only comes as a result of the oppression of African people. So you cannot want to protect white privilege and at the same time not want to continue to oppress Africans.
Yeah. Israelites who protect all the other nations and white supremacy and the allied nations of white supremacy, you're not really down for Jacob, y'all, because that's who buttering your bread right now. It reminds me of the scripture over there in Hosea. Hosea. See, let me get there. I want to show you this scripture in Hosea. Hosea chapter let's see here. But he talks about, yeah, Hosea chapter 2, verse 8. Now, this is talking about Israelites, y'all. And she shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. And she shall seek them. See, he's seeking after the Africans. She shall follow after her lovers, but she shall not overtake them. She shall seek them, but shall not find them. Then shall she say, I will go and return to my first husband. For then was it better with me than now. For she did not know, talking about Israel, she did not know that I gave her her corn, her wine, and her oil, and multiplied her silver and gold, which they prepared for Baal. Everything that we get, guess what we do, y'all? We prepare it for our enemies. Through the educational system, we put our children in our enemy's educational system. Why? To prepare them on the altar of sacrifice. It's just another form of abortion. It's just another form of abortion. The only thing is that you're not killing their bodies, but you're killing their minds. It's just another form of abortion, y'all. And so all these Christian churches are nothing but abortion clinics. And then add to that the schools that we send our children to. So we got way more abortion clinics in our neighborhood than you can imagine. You got the real abortion clinics, you got the churches, and then you got the schools. Everything is there to abort. Oh, by the way, the banks. Can't leave them out. It's just an abortion clinic, y'all. It's just an abortion clinic. Financial abortion, educational abortion, spiritual abortion. That's all it is, y'all.
Because you can only exercise or realize a white privilege vis-a-vis the oppression of African people. White privilege
is thriving off of Jacob being in captivity, not Africans being in captivity. White privilege and white supremacy is being empowered by Israelites rebelling against their power. That's where white supremacy comes from. White supremacy is coming from black people who are Israelites. That's what, not Africans. Africans, if the truth be told, Africans are practicing white supremacy, or you could call it black supremacy over us. They don't love us. I don't care if they are Igbo. When the Igbos get here, they don't want to have nothing to do with us. So I don't care nothing about no Igbos. If you're not down with Jacob, forget you. Period. I don't care, Igbo or whatever, Ashanti, whatever. When the Igbos come here from Nigeria and all these other places, they come here to fit in with white supremacy. That's what they come here to do.
and black oppression go hand in hand. Because if there was no black oppression, there would be no white privilege. If there was no black oppression, there could be no white privilege.
There's no, let me say it this way. If there was no Israelites rebelling against the Most High, there would be no white supremacy with allies. That's how I'm breaking this down. I won't break this down according to scriptures, not from no vain philosophy like he's spewing right now.
And unfortunately, we as African people often fail to understand white supremacy and the fact that all white people are racist, because we keep on evaluating white people through the lens of emotion. So what you have to do is you have to take off your emotional glasses. Come on, take off your emotional glasses. I need you to take off your emotional glasses. Take them off. I need you to take off your emotional glasses and then put on your political glasses. Political glasses, okay? You will never understand.
Let me tell you something. You know, you got a lot of our people talking about politic body. You know, we need a politic body. What we need to do is politic with the Most High and keep his commandments. That's where the strength of our politics lie. It lies in the political apparatus that the Most High has set up in the earth, with Israel being the head and not the tail. That's our politic body, but we don't want to do that. We want to make the white banks our head. How do we know that we want to make the white banks our head? Because that's where we put all our money. Anything of value, we're going to go give it to white people. Anything. Anything of value in our life, we're going to go and find white people and give it to them.
Racism, if you keep dealing with it from emotion, and because we keep on dealing with it from emotion, okay, and because we keep on dealing with it from emotion, we are often confused and tricked up whenever white people who we feel care about us, stay with me, when white people who we feel care about us, when white people who we feel about us, okay, do things that clearly manifest their racism, we are confused. When white people who claim they care about us engage in thought or behavior, okay, that manifests racism, we are confused, because we say to ourselves that this is my white friend. I know they care about me. This is my white friend. I know that they care about me. Well, guess what? They may care about you as an individual African, but they don't care about us as an African people. I repeat, they may care about you.
Yeah, and I would dare say they really don't care nothing about you. They have for you is so ephemeral, so superficial, that they really don't care about you. But I've had acquaintances that were like what he's talking about, and I never put nothing past them. Never.
You as an individual African, but they don't care about us as an African people. They may care about you as an individual African. They don't care.
Yeah, he keeps saying, see, this is brainwashing. He keeps saying individual African, African this, African that. No, they might care about you as an individual, think is an African, but you're really an Israelite. But guess what? If they found out that you believe that you're an Israelite, they're really going to hate you. Because the Bible says you're going to be above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That's not going to sit well. That's not going to go over well. And you're right, Crystal McGee. You're right. Hey, P. Holmes, what's going on? Shalom, shalom. You're right, Crystal McGee. He's full of America. That's why he's coming to these decisions that he's coming to. He don't even know that he's being controlled. He don't even know that the thinking that he has is the sunken place thinking. It's the very thinking that keeps us in the sunken place.
About us as an African people. And what you need to understand is that intergroup behavior. Intergroup behavior is regular.
Let me tell you something. A man that talks so strong about Pan-Africanism, a man that speaks so strongly about Pan-Africanism and not married and don't have a boatload of children, y'all, that screams. See, I got 5 children, y'all. I got 5 children. And I still want 5 more children. I want 5 more children. Okay? So I'm in the game. I'm sold out for the black woman. See, hey, Poa, how you doing? Shalom, shalom. You see, how you supposed to be about the black family, but you don't even have one? How you supposed to be about black little boys and you don't even have a son? You're not even trying to get one. You don't even have 7 girls. You don't have 4 girls that I know of. Now, as far as I know, I think he only has 1 child. If he's so deep like he think he is, that's something I would want to replicate. I would want to replicate myself in my children. So I'm going to have a boatload of children. I'm going to have a boatload of children because I'm down with that. I'm down with the black woman. When I hold a little baby in my arm, I get excited. When I hold a little Hebrew baby in my arms, I feel excited. When I see a little Hebrew baby, I see excited. When I see my children walking around the house, clothed in their right mind, looking all beautiful, doing their studies, I get excited. I want to have 5 more kids. People say, well, if you keep having kids, you're going to be an old man with kids. So if I don't have kids, I'm going to be an old man without kids. Now what? All I have to do is have a way to support them. All I have to do is have a way to take care of my children. That's all. And transfer the knowledge that I have to them. So this is why I can't take people like this serious. All these hotep guys and none of them married. Black power and all this stuff. Hotep and all this. You know, the woman that he was messing with, he started calling her a hotep, what, COINTELPRO. COINTEL. COINTELPRO. That's what he called her. After he got busted, he threw her under the bus. Going to do, this is what he believed about our women. He didn't take the woman, wife her, and clean her up. He didn't do that. He used her, abused her, and then kicked her to the curb, and then set her out there like that. He didn't try to clean her up. He didn't try to love the woman. He didn't say, you know what, we need to have some more kids. He didn't say that. Get it, Xavier. Get it. Get her. Chase her around the table. There you go. She did good. She did good. She did good, though. I got to give her props. I got to give her props. Get her. I got to give her props, but I'm still going to say, get her. Get her, Xavier. Ooh. Get her. That's what we need, y'all.
Related by the power structure of their race. In other words, white people do not make policy. They do not make policy for individual Black people. They make policy for the whole race. They make policy for the whole race. And you need to understand this, because when you understand that intergroup relationships is based on a power dynamic that does not yield to your personal emotional relationship with a white person, you begin to understand how insignificant your personal emotional relationship to a white person is. So when they do things against you, you should not take it personal, because it's not about you, it's about them. Racism ain't personal. Racism is business. Racism ain't personal. Racism is business. Racism ain't personal. Racism is business. And this is exactly why. This is exactly why a white person can be nice to you and mistreat other.
See, this, you know, look at this. This, you know, he seems so cogent in his thinking. But he said racism is not personal. But why did he treat that woman like that? Why he set her out like that? He got personal with her. He even started attacking her children. And I believe her children are grown still, though. He started attacking her children. That's low. That's low, man. And he only attacked her children because he got caught.
About you and still take the life of your child. They can care about you and still disadvantage your community. They can care about you and still miseducate our children, because you are confusing your individual, personal, emotional relationship with white folk with the relationship between the races. You are confusing your personal, irrelevant, insignificant relationship with Europeans. You're confusing that with the relationship that exists between the white race and the Black race. It's time for you to wake up. And I was sent here to wake you up. And I am going to wake you up.
Well, it's going to kill us, but it's not going to wake us up, okay? Because this humanism that he's spewing, it's a dead end, y'all. He's still calling us Africans. He's still calling us Africans, Pan-Africans. You know, why hasn't it woke us up yet? Why haven't Pan-Africanism woke us up? You got a bunch of talking heads who know everything, read all these books and histories about, and we just as sleep as ever. The most unconscious people that I've ever met are these Black conscious people. They're the most unconscious.
Because as I teach, in order for the African to live, the European inside of you must die. In order for you.
That's the okie doke. And he said, in order for the African inside of you to live, the white person inside of you have to die. Now, I agree with that, but not no African. In order for the Israelite, Jacob inside of you to live, White supremacy inside of you has to die, along with the allies that come with white supremacy. Be they Black, East Indians, whatever, Chinese, whatever. They all have to die. This is the diversion, y'all. They really don't want us to know. How is us being Africans the hidden ones? When let me ask y'all this. When has us being labeled as Africans been something that's been hidden, like the Bible talks about in Psalms 83? When has it ever been hidden that we were Africans? It's never been a hidden thing. They always declared us Africans. Psalms 83, let me see. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. What are they making a tumult about? Who we are. They're making a tumult that we're not the chosen people. Two. Let's read verse 1. Keep not thou silent, O Yahuwah. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahuwah. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. So that they hate the Most High, because they take crafty counsel against his people and consulted against thy hidden ones. Y'all, it's since we've been over here, they've been calling us Africans. Since we've been over here, they've been calling us Africans. So that's never been a hidden thing. What's hidden is that we're Israelites.
To give birth to your divine African self, we have to first suffocate the cracker living in your soul, because every Black man has a white man living in his.
Now the premise that he's coming from, but the application of us being Africans, I disagree with. Yes, there is a white supremacist living in all of us. I'm talking about Israelites, though, not an African. And it's the carnal man.
Body, and every Black girl has a white girl living in their body. And until we perform an exorcism, until we exorcise the demon, until we exorcise the ghost of white supremacy, we can never.
How are we going to do the exorcism? What we going to do to get this exorcism going? And if you talk to Umar, he's going to say voodoo. He's going to say we're going to have to practice some voodoo. That's what he's going to say. But the Bible says that he said, a new heart also will I give you. A new spirit will I put within you. I will take away the stony heart, white supremacy, a heart for Caesar. I will take away the stony heart and give you a heart of flesh. I wonder how he proposes to perform this exorcism. Of course, he's going to go to Black spiritualism. He's going to go to voodoo. See, he's going to keep us locked in Africa until we get killed off by the Most High. That's what his job is.
Never live. We can never live. You got to kill the cracker inside and for the African to live.
The African is a cracker too. They slaved us too. You got to kill both of them. You got to kill the cracker, the white guy, and you got to kill that African that's in you. They've called us Africans so long we think we Africans. So you're going to have to kill both of them. And they actually both one and the same.
Facts. Facts. So never again should I hear any of you talking about the good white people in your life. They may be good white people in your life, but when they deal with us as a race,
when they deal with us as a nation of people, they are not good to us.
this ain't personal. When they deal with us as a race.
Well, it's personal to me. I don't know where he's coming from with this. Is not personal. You know, it's personal to me. I'm going to take it personal. And it's nothing wrong with getting emotional about it either. But anyway, I'm going to stop right there. That was 13 minutes. That's 13 minutes. So most Negroes don't want to be Hebrews because it comes with laws, statutes, and commandments. I could agree with that. Yeah, I like to see that too, Crystal. I like to see that as well. I would like to see this exorcism take place without the Most High. I want to see that happen. and then report back to me and tell me how that worked in Umar Johnson. Exactly, David Ben Israel. It's a dead end. Exactly. Now he wants us to get behind him and follow him to the gates of hell. Well, I'm not interested in following nobody to the gates of hell. We already at the gates of hell. I'm looking to break out of the gates of hell and get into the kingdom. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get out the gates of hell. He's trying to keep us in it with this African stuff. Stuff ain't never worked for us. It's never worked for us. Show me any of the advancements that have happened because we're Africans. What, civil rights? That was a failure. Brown versus Board of Education? That was a failure. Affirmative action? Another failure. Black economic empowerment? That's a failure. Having your own black towns and black businesses? Failure. It's all been a failure, y'all. Why? Because we won't come back to our power. We want to have power outside of our power. We want economic power, political power, but we don't want the Most High our power. And so he says, you ain't gonna have no power. So anyway, okay, that's about it. Y'all think Africans are gonna open their arms and let us back in? Y'all think Africans are gonna let us back into their state? Please. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Whoever the Africans are, they having a hard time just keeping the Chinese out, the Germans out, the Belgian out, the French. They can't take any more of us on. That's why they sold us. Well, I won't say they sold us. That's why they traded us in the first place. We were interlopers. And rightly so, we deserved it. We wasn't obeying our Elohim and got big-headed in somebody else's house. And so they sold our tails or traded us. You know, I would like to see some I would like to see some receipts about Africans selling Israelites to white people. I want to see some receipts. Where are the receipts at? I've never seen any receipts or documentation. If anybody know of any, let me know. I know what people say happened, but I want to see some receipts. I want to see some bills of sales. Because white people usually keep really tight records and documentations of that, especially when they were insuring the ships and stuff, and they were insuring the human cargo. So I'd like to see some receipts. Because I think a vast majority of the slaves were kidnapped, not sold. I think a vast majority of the slaves were probably kidnapped, not sold into slavery by Africans. And I'm not trying to cape for Africans, but I'm just saying, I like to see some real proof. I want to read some books on this subject. What's about to happen, son? Yeah. But anyway, this is a Prophet 6 Family Prophet to the Angel of the Church, the Laodicean, signing out. This is my YouTube channel, The One Tough Guy. Thank you for coming and supporting my channel. I hope you were edified. And if you were edified, give me some thumbs up in here, if you don't mind. If you found the information useful, if you find it elevating, nothing will work without Yah hand delivering us, period. That is what he has been trying to show us since our Exodus. Exactly. I'm dead on with that, Ben Israel. Dead on with that. Nothing is going to work. And, you know, he said, even in our captivity, he said, even in our captivity, he would be a little sanctuary to us. We're not even seeing that happen. We're not even seeing a little sanctuary happen for us in our captivity, you know? And I think things are going to get turned up on us as far as our persecution. As far as that white belt that the Most High keep whipping us with, I think the belt is going to get bigger, thicker, and heavier with it. Coming out of nowhere. Why? Because we won't go back to the Most High. We just won't do it. We still screaming, we have no God, but no king but Caesar. No God, no king, same thing. But anyway, I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night. Good evening. I'm going back to see if anybody had any questions. He's also okay. If you have any comments that come to your mind after this broadcast is over, please feel free. Go to my comment section of this video and leave comment. I really appreciate the comments. The well-wishers. It's very encouraging to me. It really means a lot. Okay. I'm out of here. Shalom. Yeah. Oh, 300 languages. I think I heard 300 languages and some like 1,500 dialects. So yeah, you're right. They need unity. That's a good point, Poa. Power. You know, it's really interesting. Israelites want Africans to have power before we realize that we not Africans and we need power. You know, we always caping for somebody else's. You know, it's just sad. All right, I'm out of here, y'all.